Well, good Sunday morning. Let me get the light situated here. I'm right in between two windows here at my house, and the light, even though we don't have much sunshine this morning, the light kind of comes through there. And my clock is telling me it's 9 o'clock, so I'm on time, looks like. And I hope everybody's got a good Sunday morning here. Had a busy week. As you might tell by the title I put up, I've had several trucks affected by this mudslide or rock slide, mudslide up on I-40. And let me see if I can get my chat going here. My chat, all right, there it goes. Oh gosh, yeah. I think I've seen one guy with a beard named Noah out here, and I don't know what he's got in mind. But yeah, we've had a lot of rain. We've had a lot of rain, Chris. Yeah, it's been a torrential range of time. I don't know what the grand total is, but I mean we've had and the problem is we just had so many days of it. I mean it just I think we had one stretch the other day that was 9 days in a row that it rained, and now it's rained another 5 or 6 days in a row, and the ground is just saturated. And they had a lot up there on the North Carolina Tennessee line, and that's why it was flooded so bad that the side of the mountain just came caving down over there on I-40, right at the North Carolina South Carolina line, right there in the gorge. Yeah, that's right. I think Noah was out there buying some two befores and and a lot of other things. Well, hey, truck driving lady, how are you this morning? Yeah, it has been really wet. That's for sure. I mean, it's one of those seasons. I I was talking to a farmer last night. I was at a thing for our school foundation up here last night, and I was talking to a farmer friend of mine, and he was talking about it just ruined his pastures. I mean, the cows are getting out, and you know he's having to go out there and put out hay, and where he's put out hay and the cows are out walking around. He said it just it's just so much saturation. It's just he has no field anymore. That the pastures are just ruined, and so it's really tough. So yeah, it's the rain. Oh, you talking about the movable part up there on I-40? the I think they said it was the equivalent of probably about 40 or 50 yards of mud and rock that has slid across the road. That's what I heard. 40 or 50 yards. Does that sound about right? I mean, you can imagine. You know what a yard of crush and run or dirt would be. I mean, or it might have been 400. I really don't know. It was a lot because they said that it was going to take. I think they said it was going to take most of 1 or 2 days just to clear the mud out, and then it was going to take the rest of the week to repair the damage that it had done. Yeah, it's. Hey, Montana, how are you? Yeah, it's a dangerous situation, and anytime and you know the thing about what's different about North Carolina and Tennessee up there. I mean, there's a lot of vegetation up there that should retain a lot of water and should retain a lot of the hillside up there, unlike what you got out in California, where you've got you know smaller brush and smaller vegetation and a lot of mud out there. But we've had so much rain and in the past 2 or 3 weeks that it's just overflowing. I mean, it's taking out the hills on on US 70. They showed an aerial view of the entire road gone. So the entire road was gone on US 70 and close to the same area. So, I mean, that's two major roads, I-40 and US 70, that were wiped out up there in that area. So uh, we had to divert our trucks up 26 up to Bristol, Tennessee, and then from Bristol down 81 to meet 40 again, and it meets 40 up there about Danridge, Tennessee. So that's what we had to do. We had to divert everything around that direction. So it's pretty it's a pretty intense situation. And the problem is, they're after they get everything removed, then they got to stabilize the side of that mountain again, because you just can't just push the mud away and expect to say everything's okay. They got to stabilize the side of that mountain. So I mean, because it's a tall mountain right there in the gorge. I mean, I think that's why everybody calls it the gorge, because they just gorged out the side of the mountain, you might say. And they and they built this. Well, you've had it pretty bad in Mississippi too, Junior. Okay, yeah. There's a lot of flooding up here. Well, I mean, probably a lot of it coming from on your side, where you'd have the upper part. I mean, the western part of Tennessee flooding down to you into Mississippi. So it's pretty intense. I mean, we would be on the eastern Tennessee, western North Carolina area is what I'm talking about on that I-40. That's where, if people are familiar with the area, it's a beautiful area, but there's a lot of steep mountains right there. And then they built I-40 in the valley area of the mountains between North Carolina and South Carolina, and followed close to the Pigeon River. So the Pigeon River is just off to the left or right, depending on what part of it you are, of I-40 up there. And it's some more area, but it is what it is with that. I mean, you just, life goes on. You just have to jump in there and hopefully get it fixed, or as Larry, the cable guy, says, get her done, and go on about your business, because you can't slow down when I mean, the freight's going to keep moving for us in our case. So it's just a diversion. Now it's added 100 miles on each trip that I've got going up through there. So basically, I'm going to gain 400 miles a day because I have 4 runs that go to either Caryville or East Knoxville every single day. So I'm going to have 400 miles added to each trip for the next week and a half. I mean, not each trip, but I mean each day. So in some ways, it's going to make me a little extra revenue, because I end up paying it out. The worst part about it is it's made 2 of the runs really, really tight, because they were already running 500, 525, 530 miles a day, something like that. So it's going to put them up to about 630 miles a day for the next week and a half. So those 2 drivers they're gonna have a lot of it. You got a lot of flooding below you also, yeah. Well, hey, good morning, Brigatti. Yeah, we are in the like a monsoon season. It seems like it has been really, really intense when it comes to the rain. I mean, I'll be 68 this year. I'm a couple months away from being 68 years old, and I don't remember myself. And the guy I was talking to last night that was a farmer, he's in his mid 70s, and he says he's never remembered a winter or a fall and winter that's rained this much. I mean, we have really had it. I don't even know how much rain accumulation we've had, but it's it's more than I would like. I can tell you that. My yard, I'm gonna have to really get out and work my yard. It's something. It was bad there in '91. Yeah, I can't. We've had some rainy seasons, and I can't remember exactly what years have been the worst. But I mean, it's like everything else. I mean, it's cyclical. It comes and goes, and you just have to deal with it. Just like what I have to deal with the in the trucking business period. I've got a lot of issues that we're on a big push right now for safety. I mean, I've had a couple of bump ups. We had a driver that basically we had to dismiss him because he rear-ended another tractor trailer truck last week or a week and a half ago. So we've had to eliminate his job because of the safety factor. He had some other issues too, and those things happen. Yeah, we got to roll with it, and we're safety first. That's what, and we tell all these guys, and we're trying to get the safest trucks we possibly can get. Everything that we buy now, everything we have bought in the last year and a half, has had the what they call the forward mitigation, the collision avoidance technology on it. So it will actually start stopping you before you even can see that you need to stop. And from everything that I've read, that's a good thing. And I've it works because we have it on our trucks, and I've driven it, and it has it helped me out one time. I saw where I had a car that was suddenly starting to turn on me, and it slowed me down tremendously real quick because it can guesstimate, or not guesstimate. It's using a radar type system, and it will let you know before you can even think about what's going on, and it's starting to apply the brakes quicker than you can do it. And your reaction time, it's amazing. I've checked the stats. I've Googled it. I've checked it myself and looked at it. What people don't realize, a tractor trailer running at 65 miles an hour. Hey, Ponca, how are you? A tractor trailer running at 65 miles an hour, to make it come to a complete stop, will take up almost 2 complete football fields. And most people don't realize that, and how much that is that it's doing. I mean, it's ridiculous how far you can travel. And the thing I think that really gets you, and you don't realize it, by the time you see something is going to stop and you react, you take your foot off the gas and you hit the brakes. By the time you do that, you have traveled, I'm wanting to say it's about 175 to 200 feet before you can even apply the brakes. So if you come up on something and you don't have enough stopping distance between you, your reaction time won't give you enough time to hit the brakes without hitting that person in front of you. And the problem is with a tractor trailer, so many people don't realize you're not going to stop it that quick. I mean, when you see that a car can stop, it takes a car even close to a football field at 65 miles an hour, and people don't realize you travel that far. But it takes a tractor trailer twice that much. So if you're running 65 miles an hour and you're thinking mentality wise like you're in your car, and then you hit your brakes, then you are going to travel way too far. And that's the problem. That's what we've gotten into. And trying to I'm gonna get my advertisement down here so y'all can see it. Advertise for my store a little bit there. Hey, JC, how are you? I hope you're doing fine. I hope the weather's broke up there. You keep having snow every time I turn around. Uh, but um, Now, JC, what was I was going to say something to you about the camp? Oh, I sent you a little cartoon about the camper. I guess you saw that. I hope. Uh, JC's buying. If you can't find the right camper on the lot, just go out and buy two or three like JC does, and then you'll decide between the amongst them or whatever. If I had JC's money, I wouldn't worry about it, I guess. Yeah, I like that fifth wheel you got. I was going to tell you that it looked pretty nice. I believe I'd sell the motor home and keep the fifth wheel. That's my opinion because you've got plenty of trucks to pull that fifth wheel, and you're not going to keep either one of them long. You know JC, he moves the equipment, which is good. That's the business he's in. So he keeps it moving. Yep, that's what I do. That's what I do. I just put them all up for sale, and whatever's less, what you'll drive down to the trucking show. Yeah, I wish I had time to go to that. I'd like to go. Is it in Louisville again this year, JC? The what is it, Mid American Trucking Show? I believe it is, and I think it's in Louisville, Kentucky. Yeah, I see that. I don't know if Chris is still in. Chris is still in here. I saw he was cementing some more. Him and the boys are they're going to cement everything in Kansas. It looks like. And when I go out toward Kansas and everything, he'll have it all cemented, so I won't have to worry about driving on dirt roads out there. Yeah, yeah. It's you never know. I mean, we never know about this weather, and of course, you hear all the climatologists and the scientists and everything else talking about. I mean, of course, they're putting the blame on everything out here. Uh, but the weather is weather. I mean, I remember back in 1960, we had three intense snowstorms down here in the Carolinas that inundated us more than, or it impacted us more than I'd ever been impacted. Or, I mean, my camera's there. It goes. Um, it impacted us more than we'd ever been impacted in the Carolinas. But I don't. I know that everybody talks, like I said, we all talk about the global warming and all that sort of stuff. And I'm not a naysayer saying, "Oh no, we're not doing that." If you look at history and you look at everything, the Earth is cyclical too. I mean, we've you can go back and see the dinosaur age and everything else, and the ice age, and the Earth is going to correct itself. There's a lot of correction that it's going to make, whether we're here or not. And the I think the thing about it now, you've got all the alarmists, the chicken little people is what I want to say. Uh, they're worried about all these different things. Well, you can't shut down the economy of the United States just to alleviate the entire world if the entire world would not cooperate. I mean, we can't shut down every factory or everything that does something with fossil fuel and all these things, and then let China keep pushing out the CO2 emissions and everything else. I mean, they're still over there firing away with coal. I mean, you can see over there, and their climate is way worse than ours. I mean, they got the people walking around with masks on because it's so bad. So be it. I don't know. I think we need to do our part, but if we can't get an alignment with everybody else, and this so-called alignment they had last time, the United States was the only one that was doing anything, and everybody else was uh, said, "Okay, yeah, we'll do something." They really didn't. I read something about it a couple of months ago, and it was amazing how everybody else was just agreeing to kind of not do any worse. But the United States, Obama, he had agreed to really cut back and really hurt the business section. And I don't want to. I don't want to see that happen. I mean, I don't want to see the world get all messed up either. But I think we're going to have to look at the entire world situation for moderation. And that getting back on the climate and everything, it is what it is. We're not going to, if we stopped everything today, I mean, totally stopped it today, I don't think it would change what the climate's going to be tomorrow, a tenth of a degree. So, I know we have all these alarmists and everything, but it is what it is. Whatever happens with the earth is going to happen with the earth. It's cyclical. It's bigger than what we can do in the United States. So that's my yeah, yeah. That's my political. That's about as political as I want to get because yeah. I mean, just go back and study that and look how China's. I mean, China has all these factories. Uh, they have all these factories that's spewing out so much ash and coal ash and pollutants and everything else. They have no restrictions on them because the businesses are basically government run. So the government's not going to restrict the government. So, and you know, that's the way it goes. Now, how much more are you going to be cementing, Chris? I see you're back in there. Yeah, Chris, Chris and Ricky, I think are cementing the world out there. They have. I've seen them on two or three pours. I watched a live pour they had the other day, and I clicked in on that. And those boys are working hard out there, hard working boys. And they're trying to settle the dust out there. I guess they are cementing over everything, so they won't have any dust. Going to make it nice though. They're making a nice place out there. Of course, I don't know the whole story of what all was going on. JC, we'll see you. All right, you go sell that day cabin trailer. I know you need to. Making a buck is the main thing today, JC. You're done until you do a porch. Okay, then you're doing the entire. Wow, y'all are doing it now. Is all that property? Is where I see you mostly now? Is that your farm by yourself, Chris, or y'all? It seems like y'all got like a little community. That's the work and the home, isn't it? I think. I mean, it's pretty interesting. I mean, guys, you need to go check out Outcast Projects. Okay, so it's your business and it's also an apartment and everything. Now, okay, well that works good. That works good. That's sort of like me. I've got business. I've got my buildings. I've got my Napa stores on the west side of town, and my trucking is and everything is up above where I live over here on the east side of town. So that's sort of like what I'm doing. Yeah, Ponca, I see what you're saying. Yeah, and I think the United States has done 5 acres. Okay, so that's going to be Ricky's place to stay. Well, that'd be great. That'd be great. He can watch everything, and maybe you can take off and go somewhere, and he can watch the cows that way, and get everything done for you. Yeah, when I take off next year, I need to get y'all's address because we're going to be my wife and I we're gonna try to chronicle and go through a lot of different areas. Going to Vegas, I'm going to give me a little swig of a Mountain Dew right here. I'm getting choked up. But yeah, we're going to Vegas next year for a big Napa convention. They're doing what they call a 2020 Expo, I believe that's what they call it. Wow, you got 1,500 acres in a trust. Wow, that's great. Yeah, that's great that you can do that. And you got your 5 acres that's actually yours, I suppose, and then the rest of it's in a trust that you're managing. Yeah, I know it. If I can swing through there, uh, how far are you off I-40? If we were to swing out from I-40 going up to you, how far off north? You're north of I-40, aren't you? About what 100 miles or so? Yeah, I'd like to. You get the apartment ready. Maybe I could spend. Maybe you'll have a room that me and the wife could spend the night out there. Just kidding. Just kidding. But yeah, if of course, we're going to go west. Of course, I'm gonna probably go down. I'm gonna venture a little bit south and then go north over up into Memphis. What I'm gonna do is go over to. I want to go to Muscle Shoals, Alabama. I'm a big music fan. I want to go to Muscle Shoals and see some of the Alabama uh, Music Hall of Fame and the Muscle Shoals and a few things like that, and then going up into Memphis. Well, how are you, Mechanic Mike? Uh, yeah, but I want to do that and going up into Memphis. Take some time at Memphis and check it out a little bit more thorough. Probably go over and see Elvis and see all the things. My wife has never been to Memphis, so I'm going to take her to that, and then we'd. Okay, so Oklahoma City's 4.5 hours away. Wow. Yeah. 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 If I'm going I-40, I'd be going through Memphis and then on into Arkansas. I guess I could venture a little bit north in there and kind of cut up towards St. Louis and then cut across that way. I could do that, couldn't I? If I Pyramid Bass Pro is cool. Okay. I don't know what that is. I'll have to check that out though. Uh, but we're probably going to get off the beaten path somewhat. I'm not going to just be interstate all the way out because I want to see some different sites as I go. Oh, that's in Memphis. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Yeah, we're going to probably do that and go to Graceland and do some tourist things while we're out there. And I've been on Bill Street. Of course, we have a terminal out there. I used to have to drive into that terminal out there in Memphis, but something was dinging me back here on my phone. See what it was here. Oh, that's just Google telling me some stuff. I thought it was something important. Okay, the St. Louis route would bring you closer. Okay, I might have to do that because I want to see the arches. I've never seen the arches, up front or up close. I don't know if I want to get up in the arches. I mean, I know they got that tour where you can. I think yeah, because my legs, I don't know if it would make it if we had. If they don't have an elevator, I can't make it. So I probably won't. I'll probably just look at it from the outside and say, "I've seen it." And now we got a Bass Pro here in the Charlotte area. I guess you're talking about the same thing. Oh, they do have an elevator ride in there. Okay, if they've got an elevator ride, I can handle that. I could if it's stairs. I know I was in Washington D.C. several years ago, and the only way you could get up to the Washington Monument was to take the stairs. And I go, not going to happen. I'll look at it from the outside. I don't need to go on the inside. But I'm not worried about every little tourist attraction anyway. I'll do the best I can on stuff. Yeah. Now the Pyramid Bass Pro. Now is that the headquarters for Bass Pro? Is that where was it Johnny Majors? Is that who owns that? I know he's got them all over the place. Like I said, they got a huge Bass Pro shop over and near Charlotte Motor Speedway. Oh, okay. Yeah. So you're on pause for all the cement for the. You're going to get a tripod laser to do the cement. That's pretty neat. Yeah, I've got uh, I've got some friends that's got some pretty good cement equipment. And if you got the uh, little vibratory float and everything, I mean they've got the ones that will actually get in there and shake up the cement and vibrate it. And uh, I've had the guys that have done that and really get it slick. I mean, this one building, Thomas Howard is the guy that does a lot of my cement, and he he did one of my buildings up here. I mean, it is slick as glass. And he did it about 13 years ago, 14 years ago. Let's see. I guess 14, almost 15 years ago now. Oh, okay. Now, how far off of I-40? I mean, can you see that from I-40? I had to check it out because I'm gonna probably if I can play it right, I'm gonna probably take a day or so in the Memphis area. Oh, you got a power trial. You know what I'm talking about then. But you're still learning. Yeah, yeah. One thing I will tell you, if you got somebody that's got a trial in their hands, got the big or the big yeah the big long trial, be careful around them. I got popped in the lip one time and just busted my lip wide open. But me and my buddy were there, and he just pulled that thing back, and it came back on me, and it just split my lip apart. I looked like I'd been in a major fight. Okay, well I'll have to check that out. But I'm gonna probably ride around Memphis and check out a few things out at Memphis, and since that's the headquarters of FedEx too, I might see if I can get a tour of FedEx out there while I'm out there. Maybe Fred Smith will loan me a little bit of money. Don't know. Yeah, yeah. So don't let Ricky hit you in the mouth with a big float and everything. I believe that's what it was. The float's what we were using. My buddy, we were working it, and he pulled back real quick. I don't know what he was doing, but it popped me in the mouth. And like I said, that aluminum pole hit me right in the mouth and just split me wide open. Yeah, I think maybe that's why I got chipped tooth right there. I don't know. uh, yeah, bull float. That's what it was. It was a bull float, and yeah, those things can be dangerous in the wrong hands, and that's what. Yeah, it has the aluminum hollow pipe and everything. Yeah, it was a bull float's what it was. That's what we were using, and not a trial, but a bull float. I have my terminology messed up, but uh, yeah, I've got to do a little bit of cement work at my building. We've got um, one area where I built a lean-to so we can do our battery cores and everything, and we took out a bunch of bushes, and it had it's going to be fairly easy to pour it and everything, because I'm just going to pour a couple of yards of concrete and where it had like a flower bed, and it's got cement on both sides. But we covered that completely over. It was right beside my side of my building, and it's going to make a nice area for storage and drop shipments at night. So excuse me, that's going to really work good for us. Yeah, it's I think that if we can get that done, that's going to be real beneficial for me. And plus, one reason I need to do it is I've had some people that have stole some of my battery cores, so I'm gonna have to kind of lock them up better at night. And I had them out on a pallet, but people evidently saw where I was putting them, and they were outside. I kept them outside to keep the gassing and everything from getting inside my building, and smelling up the inside of the building, and battery cores. You got a lot of them that are leaking and everything else, so you have to be careful with those. But so this area will be a good solid area that's enclosed, and I can lock it up at night and everything else. So it'll be a good thing for us if we can get that going. Well, guys, I have got to head to Savannah, Georgia, in a little bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this one a little bit short today and get on out. And I've enjoyed talking with everybody this morning. But check back with me next Sunday morning. And Barbara and I are going to head on down to Savannah. So I've got to finish getting ready. Got to get a few things tidied up here. And then we're going to head on down to, going to go to Shelby, get my lunch, stay on the road. And this afternoon, hopefully about 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon, I'll be settled in down at Hilton Head, South Carolina, and get everything rocking and rolling there. So I'll see you guys around. Y'all take care. Catch you next week.